Hello, I'm Hannah.
I'm Echo.
And I'm Crystal.
And this is a news, culture, and current events podcast from the perspective of 3 and maybe even 4 YouTubers.
Maybe.
What?
Who could it be?
Yeah,
I like the maybe, but maybe I'm not here. We just can't tell.
she could be a figment of our own imaginations. We just will never know.
No.
So you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Chloe.
All right, give us your 5-year plan. Give us your strengths and weaknesses.
I want to go to the moon. I want to win an Academy Award for Best Actor.
Very good.
Okay.
There's a lot going on, yeah.
Dude, I believe
Good
in you.
plan. 2 stars.
For anyone who doesn't know, we are currently on our Thanksgiving vacation, and we're all in Arizona chilling, and we have already developed in-jokes, which is great.
Yeah.
One of them being 2 stars.
2 stars.
2 stars.
And we're all in the same room for the first time.
No.
Y'all
That's
doing
why the audio
it.
is so clean.
I don't like looking at you guys when I'm doing this.
We're all looking at the microphone.
We are. We're not making eye contact.
We're looking at the microphone.
It's like a little person sitting on the desk. Just there.
We're very eager to impress you, tiny person.
Just stick googly eyes on it.
Oh my god, that would
yes.
help me. Alright, yeah, we're in Arizona. It's really great.
Yeah.
I think... wait.
It's been a while.
You've never been, Chloe.
I have
right?
never been.
Crystal, have you ever been?
No.
I've been for a day. Doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you been here, Echo?
I have been here my whole life.
Oh. Damn, I think you
Born
win.
here. Weird flex, but you know.
We're relaxed, but okay.
It's really great. I've liked my time so far.
It's beautiful.
You did well
Thank
when you
you.
made this state.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I totally chose to be born here.
I'm really proud of you.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Yeah. Only in the winter. Don't ever come back in the summer.
Done.
I won't. Okay.
Just
Alright.
a fair warning.
Do you want to I feel like we should almost give a recap of all the shit we've done.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
not
We should
sure
probably-
that's interesting.
We should probably also address the fact that we haven't actually talked on a podcast
Yeah.
for
We
2
haven't
months.
had-
Hi,
Oh,
it's been a
you.
while.
Hey, okay, that was mostly my fault. I got my tonsils removed, and then I died for a little bit.
I feel like it was
We
a little
all
bit of
are-
everyone.
all
There
of
was
our
a lot of
issues.
stuff going on, and we were all just constantly so busy we just forgot.
Yeah. And
So-
then we would remember and be like, eh.
Yeah. We'd remember and then just forget again.
Yeah.
Just forget to get everyone together.
This is a good, reunion, though.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back. Let's do this again.
I agree.
Yes.
All right.
Good podcast.
All right,
That was great. Thanks for
The end.
Okay, so Chloe,
Hi.
how is your America trip going?
It's good. I've not been to America since 1998. That's stupid. It's changed.
Just a little.
Just a smidge. There's less Disneyland than I'm used to. No, it's cool. Not physically cool. It's quite warm. It's meant to be snowing in England, so that's different. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
How'd you like your first Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
'Cause
good.
you guys don't do that, right?
No.
No, we don't.
Do you celebrate us leaving you?
No.
You should really consider it, because we have a great time.
Our November holidays is is celebrating the time someone almost blew up Parliament.
Oh,
That's
yes.
that's our one.
Yes! I love...
That one took me by surprise
Yeah.
when I went to live in the UK because I did not
Yeah.
know that was a thing. And then everyone was like, check the bonfires for hedgehogs. And I was like,
We
well, they're all
literally-
weird.
yeah. We literally have a rhyme about it that's remember the 5th of November, and half of us still forget.
Oh, I like that version better.
I like that, too.
Remember the 5th of November, and everyone always forgets.
That's so good.
That's amazing.
I'm moved, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Alright.
inside.
So you've had other firsts as well.
Yes.
I've had
Happened.
many. I've been such a tourist brat about everything.
No.
I
love my
it,
favorite.
though.
It's my actual
I
favorite.
love having
Yeah.
pet tourists that I can just drag around and be like, look at this thing! No, look at this thing!
You were
You've
more
never
excited
seen
about
this
me being in
before.
Walmart's than I was. I'd point at something like, "Not had that before," and she was like, "Get it!" I was like, "We don't need 21 corn dogs."
But you've never had one! It's important to me that you eat this.
Yeah, damn.
I did buy an eat cookie though, so there's
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
You guys
And-
have cookies?
And Eggos. Mm?
Wait, what the hell?
And Eggos and s'mores.
And s'mores. We've done s'mores.
You
That
don't
was
have
awesome.
you don't have cookie dough? What do you do with your cookie? How do you make cookies?
From scratch. Like
You guys don't
normal.
have cookies?
Do you not
You
eat
guys
cookie
don't have
dough?
cookies?
What's a
They don't
cookie?
have ready-made cookie dough that you can just buy in a tube.
Okay,
No?
I did not know that. I thought I was so smart. I've watched British YouTubers my whole life. I thought I was so on top of things.
That's
I
why
did
we
not
have
know
the
that.
Great
I
British
didn't know
Bake Off.
that.
It's the only way we know how to cook.
cooking part of YouTube's blocked in the UK.
The oral history of cooking as told by
Sorted
England.
food, and that's it.
Oh damn! Let me tell you, secret raw cookie dough is like way better than cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fully. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
was so invested.
We put it in like everything too. We have like cake with that shit and then ice cream with that
I
shit.
had
in
ice
it.
cream, like the Ben and Jerry's one. So
Yes.
good. Hashtag spawn.
I wish.
Oh, I
Ben Jerry's.
wish, please.
Ben and Jerry's, if you're listening,
Hi.
get in touch, chuck a sponsorship our way.
That would be
Be
great.
nice.
We always upload the most regularly
Mm-hmm.
and consistently.
We're so dependable.
Hire us.
Hire us.
Bye.
What would be like a Release the Salt special edition Ben and Jerry's ice cream?
Oh shit!
Salted caramel.
Salted
duh!
caramel.
Yeah. But what else?
Ooh.
Or what about salted caramel red velvet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
With
just salt, maybe.
Just an actual
Salty
pot
milk.
of
And then
salt.
sea salt
ice cream.
Sea salt ice cream is a Kingdom Hearts thing. Sea salt ice
It
cream.
is, I've had one.
They're
They're
delicious.
really good.
Yeah. Sea salt ice cream. Boom.
That sounds
Done.
What a
Amazing.
twist.
It was,
That
it was
should be
cool.
nasty.
It took me by surprise. It's just like, this doesn't taste like ice cream, but I'll eat it.
I'll eat it and I'll like it. Alright, so we actually like had a huge Thanksgiving dinner as well, which was maybe my favorite thing in the whole
It
world.
was the best.
So
It's been
nice.
so long since I've
I
had just like
know.
a real Thanksgiving.
Okay, our
around the
audience is like young enough where they probably still have proper Thanksgiving
Yes.
with their family, but listen, you get to a certain age and then you just don't, and holidays and days in general and time maybe even doesn't mean anything
Time
anymore.
doesn't exist.
And
You
then
start
you're like,
floating in a
blurs
void.
together.
Aging is scary.
when you get to a certain age, you just go into the void years where you don't
Yeah.
feel anymore.
Yeah.
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 No, but
All
like
the holidays lose their magic.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and then also you start realizing that the people that you're supposed to spend your time with are kind of the worst sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it becomes like this weird dread thing of like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go home
Yep.
and spend this time trapped in a box with
I
all
knew
these
that when
people
I was
don't
10
really know.
now.
Yeah, 'cause the
But
thing
okay,
is,
the thing is when you're an adult, you realize you don't
have
That's
to.
the-
You
that's
don't
the
have
special
to.
moment.
difference.
And that's
can
what's
make
so
your own
special about
family.
this one is that we're all actually with people that we enjoy for
Yeah.
once on a holiday in which we're normally not.
It was
so
wild.
It's very great.
It was pretty
It's
nuts.
been fantastic.
We spent the whole day cooking. Well, Crystal did.
And, yeah, Crystal and my
It
roommate.
was worth it. It was delicious,
It was
and you guys were so
amazing.
happy, and it made it all worth
It
it.
was
was-
fantastic.
it was
You're such a good
spectacular.
cook.
You cooked
Yeah,
your first
for-
turkey.
I did.
Yeah.
It almost fucked it up, but Chloe
Big
saved
ass
the day.
turkey, too.
Foil.
Oh, we should
Oil.
also tell the story of the turkey.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
somebody
God,
gave
yeah.
us a free 20-pound turkey. Just
Yeah, we had like a 12-pound turkey that would have been enough to feed everyone and everything. And then we were like sitting in an American diner, and the waitress just came over and was like, "Do you guys want like a 20-pound turkey
Yeah.
for free?"
She asked me first, and I went, no. And then she asked everybody else, and they went, yes. And I went, oh.
Really though, I thought we were gonna say no because we already had one, and I was like, I guess they'll probably say no. And Echo was like, yes, we do. We would love
awesome.
a free 20-pound
Never say
turkey.
no to free food.
This
Oh,
is true.
see, I'm
it's
like,
true.
I
Just
don't
like
want to
when
be
you
an
grab that.
inconvenience to anyone ever, even if they're offering it. I'm terrified. Let me take that away.
Worked out well in the end though, because we we ended up having extra guests, which was
We
cool.
did.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was perfect. It worked out perfectly.
Yep.
So we had Pat and his lovely, lovely fiance over.
Mhm.
They
From
were
Life
fantastic.
Noggin and
It was
Friends with Answers. Those
probably
two.
my favorite. I think his fiance Sam is now my new best friend.
Yep.
Legally,
Yep.
it just happened.
Mhm.
Neither of us expected it. It was just sudden, you know. Yeah,
It was a beautiful moment.
It was.
It was really
was.
sweet.
That noise you're hearing, by the way, is the dog.
Dog
Yeah.
is under
Yeah,
the
there's
table
a
going
dog trapped
bum
in the
bum.
room with
We're all
us.
just kind of staring at him.
And
Like,
he's a
come
cutie.
on.
He's a
This is
cutie.
the kind of thing that you get when we're all in the same room
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
okay?
We can't edit out the bumps. Sorry.
Yeah, this is gonna be like very minimalistic editing, so you just kind of got to take it as it is.
I like it.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
We
We should
shoot.
also talk about the day of events that we had. So we had to do our
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving things the day before Thanksgiving
Yeah.
because some of our cooks were going to other family Thanksgivings. So we ended up also on the same day as cooking a ton of food, going to an escape room because that event was planned ahead of time and like we bought tickets and everything, so it was set for that day. And we got to go with James.
Yeah.
that was
the
awesome.
odd one's out.
The odd one's out.
And we
He's
beat
awesome.
records.
We did. That was
Yeah.
amazing. Didn't even plan it. We did one escape room.
It was
Beat
supposed
it
to
in
take
half
an
the time.
hour.
Yeah, did it in 30 minutes. So we figured we'd do another one. Also because we had a weird key
Yeah, we had an issue.
mishap, and so they gave us a discount on the rooms on top of another discount.
Wait, there was a mishap?
Yeah.
On our side.
On our side, there were 2 locks that were switched. So we started the puzzle and then ended, or we went to like a middle.
We went to the middle of the puzzle by accident.
And then she was like, "Hold on, don't do that," and then just like had to come in and switch the locks.
Yeah.
So she gave us a bunch of free vouchers, and we immediately turned around and turned them in, and did another escape room, and smashed the like all-time.
Okay, it turns out, y'all, a little back door thing. Chloe and James,
yes, oh my god,
like puzzle masters. I think they must have written all these puzzles. It was nuts to see them work.
Also, the girl was like legitimately confused. She left and she was like, "Wow,
you guys smashed."
She was texting her colleague. She's like, "They're solving it too quickly, and I'm scared."
It was wild. I just stood there smiling like, my friends are really smart. I don't understand what's going on. I'm very happy to be here.
It was really great because I feel like we had a solid amount of people who all approach problems from different angles.
Yes.
So we could all approach every problem we came across from every angle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the stupid book one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think, let's put this shit in a pyramid. Like, you don't think that. Oh, sorry. It's stupid. The only time we got a clue.
It was stupid.
But the moment we got the clues, like, maybe put it in a pyramid, it's like, oh, and then we figured it out, like...
Yeah.
It's because there was no natural correlation between what was written on those books and
it was
shape
just the
they were supposed to go
picture,
in.
and then the fact that the books had 1, 2, 3, and 4 letters, but it's like...
This is thrilling audio.
Explaining an escape
puzzle.
People are gonna be mad.
Don't
explain our clues.
So, if you've listened to this podcast for a while now, as I'm assuming some of you have, you know that I am, like, deeply in best friend hole with James. Like, I want to be his best friend so bad. We have so many common interests, and I'm like, God damn it. If this could happen. Anyway, so I made him sign my copy of his book.
That is definitely how you start a friendship. Hello,
shoot.
sign this book, thanks.
That you wrote.
You wrote.
The first thing he said was, "Where did you get this?" And
you're like, I only flew across the country with it just in the hopes of meeting you so you could sign it. It's fine.
I'm super casual, guys.
It was amazing.
So James, if you're listening,
I'm sure
be Hannah's best friend.
Yes, be Hannah's best friend.
End my actual life, please. Alright.
I just figured like Jansen and Hacks, like
as you requested. I'm here to end your life. Thank you, please. Alright. So today
Yeah.
Oh wait,
yeah,
we had an actual entire day where we didn't do anything at all.
Yeah, it was
as
great.
well.
That was actual Thanksgiving.
See, that
Day.
made in my mind that made Thanksgiving even better.
It
like
did.
the actual holiday, just literally sitting. Everyone took like a 2-hour nap at some point, and then we did s'mores, and that was it. We just worked on our computers.
And we got to eat leftovers,
chilled.
so we still had Thanksgiving food on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
Those yams.
Oh
my god, the yams.
I have literally never had real Thanksgiving yams. Like, my family's Hispanic, so we always had, like, chili and stuff. But yams was never a part. We always had, like, sweet rice. And, like, the traditional, like, toasted marshmallow yams. Those are the first ones I've ever had. They were
so good.
Like,
everything was, like, Flavor Town.
So
Flavor Town. I think, Crystal was channeling her inner guy. I think it's pronounced Fieri, anyways.
Guy, oh yeah.
Which
Flavor
is
Town,
stupid.
that guy.
Spell your name right, asshole.
As the mayor of Flavor
Right.
Town.
Mayor of Flavor Town, I'm the Mayette of Flavor Town. Even though you can be a mayor and a woman, it's fine. I'm the Mayette.
You could be the queen. The
I'm
mayor and the
I'm
queen.
the queen.
I'm the queen of Flavor Town.
I love it.
I have his cookbook. I spent $25 on his actual hardback cover. Cookbook.
That's commitment.
Is that any good?
No, it's really not. I just wanted it. I display it.
The only cookbook I ever want is Thug Kitchen, and it tells you aggressively how to cook stuff, and it's like, put that shit in the fucking bowl right now.
That sounds great.
It's the funniest thing I've ever read in my entire life, because I normally just get my recipes from, like, online or YouTube videos, but that book made me cry. I was laughing so hard.
I love recipe books and stuff like that, where it's like, step 1, take the pots and pans out of your oven. And you're like, oh yeah. I was putting shit in there.
That's where I put things.
Have you ever been on whatthefuckshallIhaveForDinner.com?
No.
Right. You literally just click on it and you just keep clicking refresh and it just says, have some fucking enchiladas. And then if you don't like it, you can refresh and just
That's
say,
my
have a
jam.
fucking beef Wellington. Like, it's
That's
so
great.
And then if you want to hit refresh, if you want to, it's got two options. It's print recipe and I don't fucking want that. And you click that button and it suggests something else.
There's a very similar website that's called Who the Fuck Is My D&D Character? And it just does randomly generated D&D characters.
Fantastic.
I use that site like every day of my life.
That's grand.
Oh, it's so
It also
good.
reminds me of What's in My Fridge. Have you guys ever used that?
I think
It's
so.
so nice when you have a very limited amount of stuff to cook with.
Oh yeah, and it tells you like what you can cook with.
Yeah,
what's in your
exactly.
fridge.
You just throw stuff in, and it's like, well, if you had these things, you could make this, or
Mm-hmm.
with this limited stuff, you could make this, and it suggests recipes based on what you have,
That's
which
so
is
handy.
so nice because
Yes.
it's like recipes but backwards.
Yes.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use that probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's good
So
for like
useful.
a college kid with like 3
I
things in
that's
their
where I
fridge.
learned about it.
Mhm.
I all times in my apartment had 3 things to eat. And I was like, how do I put these together to make them taste better? No, there's no way.
Yep. What's in my fridge? It helps.
Mhm.
That's so good.
I've used it.
Alright, so today
Yeah.
we
2
went...
stars.
But, 2 stars. So good. Today we went bowling.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, should we say we're recording this on Black Friday? I'm
Oh,
just gonna
yeah,
throw
it's
that
Black
out there.
Friday.
So we did have to do a little bit of working things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then bowling.
And then bowling.
So much fun.
And then
Mhm.
later skating.
we're all like
But-
super
Yeah.
good at bowling. We all got over
Yeah,
200.
we're all
All of
fantastic,
us.
and we got like
We all
50
got
million
strikes
all
the
of
whole
us.
time. Nobody got gutter
gutters.
balls.
No.
Someone
Everybody,
got a perfect game.
the entire
Yeah.
bowling alley stopped and stared, and then we pulled our last
Yeah.
strike, and they all clapped
They
and
all
cheered.
clapped.
Yeah.
That's
There
exactly.
totally wasn't like 2 other people in the whole bowl.
Who were both better than us. One of them was a 6-year-old. It was great.
He was, and he was getting so many strikes.
Bright pink
Echo
shirt
and
was
I
great.
were
I loved
grandma bowling down the fucking thing.
Yeah, they
Because we
were.
kept both getting gutter balls.
And we found the perfect ball.
We needed the perfect ball.
The perfect ball
Bless
was
that ball. It was a good ball.
Really good
Should
ball.
have just taken it.
I should have. Fuck.
You're
It
gonna
was
be
like-
that person to
It
bring
was like
their
a
own ball in.
10-pound
You're
ball.
serious.
It was
And, like, bowling
small,
gloves.
and I
Purple.
think it was new. It was bright purple, and it was like brand new. There was like no dents or anything in
Yeah.
it.
So if you guys go to the Phoenix bowling alley, you know exactly which one to get.
That one ball.
It was a
Hunt
damn
for that
good
one
ball. Oh shit, though.
It went not for nothing. I went from like 0 every single
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to like
You-
9.
You really just
Oh.
needed like a ball that fit your hand.
Yeah.
Like that was.
I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
small
thing.
fingies.
I've got freak fingies.
That was like the thing that was holding you back.
It
I have
was.
tiny hands. I couldn't stretch.
Yeah, it was
across
so
the whole
dangerous.
ball.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Look, my
It's
pinkies look like they're
nice.
broken.
Oh my god.
That's
Oh, stop it.
Okay, moving on.
She bit her pinky sideways.
how I was born.
After this, we're going skating.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to Skateland.
Hmm.
Exciting. And then we're also gonna do more s'mores, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow is the last day that Chloe's here.
Boo.
Which is
Are you getting
sad.
teared up?
A
Aww.
little bit. It's actually burping because I'm drinking
I miss him
gonna
so
vomit.
much.
So sad.
So sad I'm deflating. And then tomorrow we're going to the mall.
Are we going to the mall? What do
We're
we?
going to the mall tomorrow morning because Chloe's
Oh,
discovered
Hot
there's an
Topic.
American
Okay,
mall
yeah.
and she wants
I want to
go.
go to Hot Topic.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Hot Topic has such a distinct smell that you can never
Yeah, it
convey
does.
to anybody who's never been to Hot Topic
Yeah.
before.
I'm excited to know what that is.
It is just remarkable how every single one
Yep.
smells the same. What is it?
Hot top. It's edginess.
It's the smell of edge.
You're edgy. You're a meme. You're a cool kid. You know the
Smell of pop
Fortnite
culture.
dances. That's you.
When I was 10 years old and we would go to the mall, I would cross the street to get away from the Hot Topic.
Really?
You have to
Oh my
go on the
God.
other side of the mall to get around.
Because of the smell, or you just hated
Because I was a Southern Baptist woman and
Oh.
I deal with the devil. I was a bad kid because I went in there anyway.
That was back when Hot Topic actually used to sell like more edgy.
No, really.
goth
You would be like,
stuff.
Back in the Day was more edgy. No, really. They were
really
more
were.
edgy. Like,
Yeah.
back when we were, like, pre-teens,
Mhm.
it was more like, if you walked in and you didn't look like you shopped there, you got grilled until
Yeah.
you left. Like, everybody
Yeah.
stopped and glared at you until
Like
you
everyone
left.
had like shaved heads and colored
Yeah.
hair and thick eyeliner and all kinds of stuff, and I just remember like
I still
wanting
went in,
to
though.
look like that.
I was like, it must be me.
And now they sell Disney
I'm
stuff.
not-
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
they've
now it's all
changed.
Kids
now it's
these
pop culture
days.
stuff. It's like slightly edgy pop stuff.
Well, it kind of does reflect, not for nothing. I'm always really sad that rock music now sucks, and everybody's like, "This is rock," and it's not. It's good in its own. It's good in its own respect, but it's not rock.
This
Rock
is
music's
something I
kind
didn't
of
know about you.
rock music. I feel is kind of dead. Even Brendan Urie, I love him. His music is amazing. It's not rock, and that's because of that. I feel like that's reflected in Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, girl, you're wrong, though.
I can't. Ooh,
You're
give me.
listening to the wrong people.
Give me. I'm
Avenged
here with open
Sevenfold?
hands. Put them in my. Avenged Sevenfold is old, my dude. I'm talking.
They just
new
came out
stuff.
with an album, Hail to the King.
Well, thank you. I'm talking. No, but really, like, what's on the radio? I remember when I was in high school. I'm down back in my day. No, really, I remember when I was in high school. What was popular was rock music, and there was some rap music, there was some pop music, but it was a part of what was on the radio. That's not happening anymore. You have to
you're right.
dig. You
The
have
funny
to
thing,
search
it's
for
not
rock
mainstream.
music.
The funny
That's
thing
true.
is, Hot Topic, when we were teens, like, people complained about it now,
Yeah.
the way that we're complaining about it now,
Yeah.
because before, Hot Topic actually got its start more as, like, a music and band, like, selling place.
Oh.
It was, like, way more music-oriented, and then they started shifting into more, like, fashion, punk, like, scene stuff, and now it's, like, completely switched to, like, super pop culture,
I'm okay with these changes. I'm not complaining. I love Hot Topic. I shop
they
there
have
now.
so much Harley Quinn stuff, and I love it.
It's
makes
just
me
an
a little bit
observation that I feel like correlates. I feel like, though there is probably, as Hannah pointed out, good rock music existing, it's hard to find. Like,
Yeah, it's not
you have to
mainstream.
dig. You have to get into the ditches and look. And I feel like that's reflected in Hot Topic currently, though I still do love Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Hey, Hot Topic, please sponsor me.
Oh, I'd love that.
I shop.
They don't
I would
need it,
shop
but I
there
would
a
love
lot.
that.
Yeah.
I do love a lot of their stuff.
They definitely have, like, so much amazing stuff.
Why can't we all just be Jack's Films and tweet at them and then get 20 shirts?
Yes. That was
Did that
was
really happen?
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes,
that really did
he was
happen.
saying that he wanted
He wanted
21
21
pilots shirts.
when they just started getting popular. He was like making fun of it because it's Jack's Films, and he was like,
not
"Man,
even
if
when they
only-"
were starting, when they were like mid-popular, because
Yeah.
Jack's Films doesn't listen to them. He was making fun of them and saying like, it's far too many pilots. Or, like, I need
Yeah.
21 pilots shirts, like on Twitter or
at
something.
Hot Topic.
Yeah, and they literally sent
him.
him
Yeah.
21
pilot
pilot
shirts.
shirts.
I just want to
And
be
he
famous
unboxed
enough to
them.
have that happen.
I know.
I know. Oh,
That's
that would
We
be
don't all need
amazing.
to be Logan Paul. We just need Jack's Films fame.
Yeah.
Jack's
Yeah.
Films, give us your fame.
Jack's Films, you want to sponsor it?
If you're listening,
That's the next level, you guys. YouTube sponsoring YouTubers.
Oh my gosh,
This
yes.
video has been brought to you by Jack's Films. Go buy go to beaklondike.com.
Has anybody
Yes.
ever done that?
I don't think
Let's
so, but
do
I would like should we
the
should
table.
pay
Sorry, I got excited.
No, you're good. We should like pay another YouTuber and be like, talk about our channel.
Oh my god! But make it super obvious, like it has to pass FTC guidelines. Like this video has been
Yes.
sponsored by some other YouTubers.
Does
Yes.
that
Add in the
I really
title.
am interested if that's ever happened. It surely has, right?
I
I guess it
think
just
it
passes
has.
collabs.
That,
But,
I mean,
that's
collabs
wild.
are cross promotion. It's not necessarily like a full just talk
Okay.
about me on your channel.
I'm gonna make a bold statement. I would rather pay to have people collab with me than what it is right now.
Yes, this is true.
As a person with huge social anxiety, I just want to say, hey, can I pay your flat rate of
your time.
$500 or something to collab with
Yeah.
me? Because I hate everything about talking to people
like
always.
exchanging your time.
Yeah. That would make me feel
Yeah.
so much better.
Because in the moment you have to like play that weird like in between, like, are we cool enough to
Yeah.
ask you to do me this favor, or
Yeah.
are we like, is it like weird? Like, have I spent enough time with you to be able to actually ask such a thing of you? Or
In order to be true friends with YouTubers, I almost feel like you can't do YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, in a
Like you
weird
have
way.
to do things off camera. That,
Yeah.
And for the sake of doing them together and not
Yeah.
for
because of
promotion.
YouTube.
Yes. That you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. That's the key.
Mhm.
When you're like actually not like, hey, we're gonna do a thing and we're not gonna film it.
Yeah.
And we're not even gonna take a picture and put it on Twitter. Like we're just gonna like chill.
Hang out. Yeah.
That's wild.
And then
who
like,
does that?
But it's awesome when you're with other people and then someone else like records it for you and you're like, oh, thank you, can I get that? Like
Yes,
that,
100%,
like that
yeah.
mutual, like,
That is
oh,
really
good, I
good.
don't have to do it. I want
Yes.
your pictures stuff.
Yes.
That is actually I take it back because like we have a drive. And
Oh, yeah.
we have a drive of just like pictures that we've taken.
I feel like
it's
that's
my favorite
memories.
thing.
It's fantastic,
I really
and I love
love
it
it.
so much.
Also,
And
I
every
just
day I'm
enjoy-
like, can you put up the pictures from today? Because I want to relive it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the mutual understanding that we all have about how long it takes to take selfies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
you can't
that's
do that with
Oh.
non-internet people.
No,
know.
honestly, we were at the escape rooms and they have really cool sets, right? And I never go anywhere cool. Everybody was like, but you live in New York. Listen, I don't go outside. So I was actually in these escape rooms and they were so cool. I was like, I need to take pictures. They might not turn out, but I'm going to take them. And everybody was super chill. They're like, okay, yeah, whatever, whenever you're done. And it took like 5 minutes. And then nobody said anything. Last spring, we were with a bunch of non-YouTubers, David and I. And we were in this beautiful waterfall. I actually put it on my Instagram. And we took our time. We're like, go ahead, please don't worry about us. Go, leave us behind. Let us get eaten by wolves. Just go. And they got so fucking pissed off that we were taking so many pictures. Like, oh, I guess you're just gonna take pictures. And I was like, this is my job. Leave me alone.
Yeah, settle down, Jesus.
I know. Anyway, moral of the story, internet friends are great.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very much.
It really is great when
You guys
people understand.
Like the
Yeah.
dust photos.
Oh,
Yeah.
the dust photos.
So
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you want to describe it now that you mentioned
Okay,
it?
yeah. No, you don't get any
Just
context.
dust. We
So,
just
like,
took
pictures of the
photos.
grass.
Arizona's like made of dirt, and so
It's really
if you
great.
take like if you just rake, you can end up with like these massive dust clouds. And if you do it intentionally, it can look really cool in photographs. So we spent like maybe like a solid 30 minutes or something
Yeah.
out in the backyard, just kind of like throwing dirt and taking pictures.
Yeah.
We all got a fine layer of dirt on us.
Yeah. It was fun. We got
But
cool
the pictures were great.
Cool
Good for
pictures.
exfoliating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Something to myself.
Dirt.
Positives.
That's the secret of beauty.
Yeah.
I
The
always
secret
knew
of
it.
Arizona tans.
Sam, I must be so pretty. That's good. No, in Cookville, it's like only grass. Like we don't have any dirt anywhere because the grass is like really intense about growing. And the kudzu. Have you guys heard of kudzu before?
Yes, it eats houses.
It eats entire houses.
Yes, it eats houses.
What is
Our
this?
foliage don't fuck around. They
It's a
brought it
plant.
in from Spain.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's basically
Yeah,
all you
it-
need to
What
know.
is
Buildings.
this called?
Kudzu.
Yeah, it's like vines.
Kudzu?
It's like
Yeah.
you know, like vines going up a house, and it's like, oh, what a pretty house! It has vines on it. It's not pretty. It will eat your house.
Like
It
in
tears your
Jumanji?
Yes,
bricks
like in
apart.
Jumanji.
Hey.
It
It
will.
gets in the bricks and it's like.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's amazing and insane, but much slower. I imagine.
Yes, left. I mean,
It's
it can be
pretty
pretty
fast.
fast.
I've
For a
seen
plant.
it eat a tree in like a year
Yeah.
or less. Like a
Wow.
big tree, like a full
See, I just
massive
like pictured
tree.
that one scene in Rotel Dorado where he's like, "We'll go this way," and he like comes to the brick wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie, actually. It's been a while.
How's the foliage in England?
Pretty unaggressive.
Well, this is
Although-
America.
Although, so there's a lot of it because we're England, yet somehow we're really unprepared for it. We've had entire railway public transport systems shut down because, and I quote, leaves on the tracks.
Oh no!
And like,
my God.
they keep trying to come up with these things just like, oh, it's because the leaves condense and it makes it super slippery and dangerous. No, dude, you just want to have the day off because there are leaves on the tracks. So like, every autumn, England just stops. And it's just like, how did we not see this coming? How did we not understand that every year the leaves might fall off the trees, as they are wont to do? We relearn our lesson every
What do you think's
single
gonna
time.
happen to the leaves this year, y'all?
I don't
Do you
know.
think they'll stay? I think they'll stay.
I
It's
think
fine.
they might stay this time. Shit, they look real strong.
Let's
You know,
do
climate change, you
nothing.
might get lucky.
No, it's a liberal myth. What are
Oh,
you talking about?
Did you see? I mean, I don't even want to talk about Trump, but did you see him literally tweet, "Oh, it's cold today." Something about that climate change, like wow,
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
fake, and it's just.
I
thought
remember
that was
we
supposed
all
to be
just-
global
There was like
warming.
an interview that he did where he was like straight up like, well, some scientists say that there is and
I
some say there
can't.
isn't, and it's like no,
No,
they all say there
agree.
is.
like it's
None
it's
of
literally
them.
like 3% that say that climate change isn't like real or caused by humans, whatever. But they're like funded by very
Yep.
questionable sources and that kind of whatnot. And
Yep.
it's like when like 7% of all scientists are like, yeah, this is a thing we should like pay attention for. I think it's okay to round up and just
Yep.
be like, yeah. I mean, there's this beautiful comic of like someone standing up in a crowd and they're like, well, what if all this global warming stuff isn't real and we make the planet better for no reason? And it's
How
like,
dare you make the planet
What?
better for no
What a terrible
reason.
world to live in. That's
Why would we
healthier.
ever want that? God, let us just crumble.
right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Are you guys pumped for the heat death of the universe?
Hell
I
yeah.
am.
Pretty
yeah.
pumped. I'm
I
ready
think it's
for
gonna be
it.
pretty.
Let's go for it. Let's go
Let's just
for
dive
it.
in. Turn up the heat.
Lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this shit. Just get your hairspray out.
I was gonna say, let's speed it up. Let's get there faster, if anything.
They're doing it.
Yeah, we're getting
They're
there.
doing it.
Oh yeah.
And the world's gonna die, kids. That's the...
Yeah.
They released assault. The world's gonna die.
Optimistic.
I'm optimistic. I mean, there's so many things Trump has said, so we won't go there. There's a lot. It's been a few months, guys, and there's been some dumb shit.
Oh, let's go more positive notes. The midterms just happened.
Midterms.
Positive politician
I
things.
forgot that happened.
What happened in Arizona?
An awesome senator now. She
Yes.
is. I want to say the first woman in Arizona to be elected, the first Democrat in like 20, 30
And
years.
one more fact that's very important to
And
me.
the very first openly bisexual senator in all of America.
Yay.
I love that so much.
I
because
read that on a thing, and because like before I was like very iffy about her because
Uh-huh.
she's kind of more like centrist, which means she aligns with Trump on some things, but she's more of a like let's reach across the aisle and work together thing, and I'm like no, be more liberal. But like it's what Arizona needs because
Yeah.
Arizona's a very red state, so it's like if we're gonna have a Democratic senator, they need to be more center.
That's very smart of her, by the way.
Yeah, it's very smart.
I'm very pro. I can't remember her name.
Kirsten Sinema. Yeah, I'm very. But then as soon as I read that she was like openly bisexual, I was like, no, I love her. I love her now. I love her so much. Okay, she's gonna be fine.
Stan.
She's if nothing else, she'll focus on this issue. This one will be great. I love her now. So
This is what peak human performance looks like. You may not like it. So Tennessee was not as great. Phil Bredesen won.
yeah,
Or no, I'm sorry. Marsha Blackburn won. That was the... Yeah, you don't know.
yeah, we don't know.
Okay, so the whole thing was that Taylor Swift was like, hey, everybody, vote Phil Bredesen because Marsha Blackburn is a literal lunatic. And she is. She's not. Anyway, all I did this whole time was just see a bunch of ads, and I was like, have you seen those attack ads?
I hate
them.
They are so
something that
intense,
makes
too.
me-
They're like, Phil Bredesen molests children. And I'm like,
Oh
that's
my
not even
God.
probably... I'm pretty sure that's not true. Like, I'm like
There's-
56% sure that's not true. Anyways, I don't know. You hate to see it on TV. And that's all I saw for a really long time. And then Marsha Blackburn won, and it was kind of a bummer.
See, we had this weird thing in Arizona where it was like the Republican Party hadn't really discovered the internet. So all of the ads were like the Republicans would air attack ads on like Kirsten Sinema on TV. No one would see them. And then suddenly you'd be watching like Hulu and then get like the Republicans lied about Kirsten Sinema. She's not that way. She's actually this way. And I'm like, I never saw the first one. So like I'm watching the sequel to something I did not see. Yeah. So it was like just a bunch of defense ads. And then suddenly right before the election, the Republicans were like, oh my God, the internet. And then they just like nothing but like attack ads. And
God.
just like vote for Martha McSally
Okay,
stuff.
let's do a quick survey. How many of you how do attack ads affect you? Do they make you feel sorry for the person you're attacking, or do you agree with them? Like,
It makes me really hate whoever produced it.
okay,
Yeah.
same though.
Yeah.
Every time there's an attack ad, I'm like, oh shit, I
feels
should vote for
petty.
him.
Yeah.
It feels feels petty.
Because it's all, you can't prove it. All of
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
just hearsay. You don't have to prove your truths to get on a commercial. Anybody can say it, and it's just kind of like, okay, you're just being a nasty little bitch who can't actually let your policies stand for yourself.
Yeah.
So I hate you. That's pretty much how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really loved about Kirsten Sinema, because I watched their debate, and they would constantly go back and forth saying, like, look at these sources. But with Kirsten Sinema, it was always like, look at Martha McSally's voting record. And with Martha McSally, it was like, go to this one website to watch this documentary about Kirsten Sinema and how she's crooked and evil and stuff. And it was like, that's unverified. The voting record is a much more straightforward way to see how someone's going to behave in Congress.
Did you guys hear about all that stuff in Florida?
Oh, God.
I don't know
It's a
what
shit show every year.
It is. It
Okay.
is.
I was born in Florida. It's my home.
me
It's my
too.
home base. Really?
Jacksonville.
Oh, I don't think I knew that. I was Spring Hill.
Oh, shit.
Look at
Yeah,
us.
I was born in Florida.
We're neighbors. I
Yeah.
literally didn't know that. We're
Yeah.
swamp children.
Swamp children!
Born in the swamp.
Actually, yeah, I spent my summers in a swamp.
I did too.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Swamp kids.
We learned something. Okay, so Florida is a literal swampland. We should just cut it off from America and let it float away. Like, bye. It sucks. Every year it sucks. They're just a mess. They are notorious for just, quote-unquote, like, losing ballots or, like, allowing people to vote in ways that is super shady, like emails.
Oh, yeah.
They let
What?
people
And, like,
email in their votes. Never. That's
And
not
they,
how
like,
you do
purge
things.
their voter records.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Georgia
So-
was no better this year.
Really?
Oh my god,
Georgia.
they delivered faulty machines to predominantly minority neighborhoods that didn't have cords, and there was only 2 of them.
Oh, I remember that, and the line was, like, all the way out the building.
Yep.
And people were waiting for a
Yep.
solid
And then
hour.
all
I
of
waited a
those-
long time, too, to vote. I waited a long
I voted by mail.
time.
I'm not even dealing
Oh,
with that
that's
garbage.
fair. I should probably do that.
Yeah,
I'm
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 enrolled in-
scared that they're just gonna,
enrolled in,
like, throw it in the trash.
They could.
See,
Cookville
the thing
is
is,
really Republican. I keep
Yeah.
trying to say mine. Liberal, Democrat. They're super, super Republican, conservative. Not
Yeah.
only like, okay, I don't have a problem with conservatives. I have a problem with like super racist people. That's
Yes.
the one we are in Cookville.
Yeah.
that
It's
one.
the worst one.
Yeah. Same.
America!
Iowa midterms, Chloe.
Oh, last time I checked.
Non-existent.
Okay, wait. Do you guys vote?
Yes.
Of course! Yes!
I literally don't.
Colossal
Like,
thing
how
to
do you...
I don't understand how the voting works.
That was how Brexit
No.
happened.
No, the Queen is a dictator.
You didn't vote the Queen in? She is!
She can't do anything. She's an old woman with dogs.
You're right though, but like,
She has,
didn't vote
she
her.
has one power and she fucked it up.
Brexit literally happened because of the people
Oh, yeah.
who wanted Brexit were
I
like,
knew that
guys,
one.
Brexit is actually this other thing, and it's not.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh shit, it's this other thing. And then they all voted, and they said, oh fuck, what did we do? We made a mistake. And so that's how
And then they
Brexit
ran.
happened.
Yeah, we've had like
They
3
jumped ship.
elections in 2 years. It's been a bit of a shit show because like we ended up with a prime minister that no one voted for, and she
Yeah.
was just like
You told
tottering
me about
along,
that.
like like doing her
okay,
own thing
so how does that happen? If you guys vote so much,
because everyone resigned.
So Brexit happened, and then people in the office literally said, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then
Yeah.
the next guy got in, was like, wow, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then somebody else was like, fuck, we're out of people. Fuck, you. And she's like, hello.
She was like, I
She literally, yeah, she just volunteered.
volunteered to sacrifice.
Hello.
No one wanted her.
Yeah.
Oh no, she did the...
Yeah, she did
she
the robot
danced
arm
into place,
thing.
and everyone was like, "Oh."
okay, but like that's my favorite meme nowadays. I'm not even messing around. That one makes me laugh every time. No matter how it's applied, I'm like, this is so funny.
She's a cretin.
It gets me. It gets me. All right, so what are your political parties? I don't know.
Oh, a
I know
lot.
Yeah,
Whig.
because you have way
We
more
have
than
Whig.
we do.
Yeah.
Because you don't have first past the poll
But
voting.
but that screws us over in a very big way.
Whig and Tory. See, I know.
What?
Isn't it Whig and Tory?
One is a Tory.
I know one is
Whig?
Tory.
Whig.
What?
What, you have
I
a
don't
Green
know.
Party, you have,
We have-
the Tories.
We have Tories, which is the Conservative Party.
I
Yeah.
see a new
Yes.
one.
Labour Party, which would be your Democrats. Green Party, Green Party.
Yeah.
Same
Scottish
everywhere.
National Party.
Mm.
They are they're kind of liberal because they split the Labour vote, and that's why Conservatives have got so much power all of a sudden.
Oh.
Sinn Féin, that's... I'm going to screw this up, that's Irish or Northern Irish, I don't know, sorry. I literally don't know which part of Ireland belongs to the UK, that's cool.
I thought Northern Ireland was its own place.
Maybe.
Like, I live there, I
Whigs
don't
went
know.
out.
Honestly, I don't know which... And that's a huge deal for me to not know, but never mind.
All right, so clearly,
we just-
I googled it, and literally all I know about England is earlier than the 1900s because they went out of fashion in the 1850s.
Cool.
The wigs. I was right though. Wigs is a thing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Loud.
Alright.
I only know old Europe history.
I'm honestly the wrong person to ask about politics because I don't
You're
know.
not.
all I know is that I vote Labour in my constituency, and that does shit all because it's a very conservative area. But I try my best.
It matters.
That means that
It
it's
does.
more valuable.
It is, it matters.
I feel the same way. I don't think Tennessee's ever been blue in the history of Tennessee.
But
Yeah.
your little vote helps. See, I feel
I
like
do
in
it,
New York,
yeah.
our vote doesn't mean shit because it
doesn't.
really doesn't.
New York and California votes, they don't matter.
Everybody always votes Democrat. And, like, there are some Republican people, but it's so small. So I really feel like me going is just like, aha! Like, it means nothing.
Yeah.
But I feel, I don't wish I lived in Florida, but I wish I lived in Florida just because
Yeah.
Or
our,
you could
it's
vote
like,
in Florida.
it's a hairline that splits splits it. And I would be a part of people helping that hairline.
That's literally how Phoenix was. After, it was kind of funny watching, like, Arizona's, like, Arizona politics, because we've, like, slowly been shifting. Technically, we're, like, a third Democrat, a third Independent, and a third, conservative, but it's all more, like, Republican-leaning. And, after, what was it, the Hollywood Access tape, the one where Trump said shit, Arizona turned purple. And it suddenly became a swing state.
It makes sense.
And, like, my vote mattered suddenly, and I was like, holy crap. And this was while I was in England, so I had to, like, vote from across the fucking planet, and I still voted. I drew myself a sticker, because it was important to me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I think Tennessee, anytime any news ever comes out, they just put their fingers in their ears and they go, la, 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 like, nothing ever. Remember when Trump said he could go into, like, the center of New York and fire a gun off? And, like,
no, he's right. That's the fucked up shit
shoot
about
somebody
it.
in the face and nobody would change their vote at this point.
Yep.
I was petting the table. Sorry. Just felt like I needed to pet it.
Like, I'm very affected by this story.
Damn good job.
Good job, table.
Good job, table. 2 stars.
All right. Guess it's every time. Alright. Yeah, voting sucks. Everything sucks.
Agreed.
I honestly, I can't understand why we don't count every single vote and just, like, fuck the Electoral College. Fuck the, like...
I know.
Just
the
popular
stupid
vote
thing is
only.
that, like, the Electoral College was put in place to prevent the country from doing something stupid, essentially. Like, just in case... The whole country was just like, we want to elect this really terrible person who doesn't know
They're
government.
not doing anything! That happened!
Opposite. It's had the opposite effect. Like, the literal opposite effect.
They literally mean nothing, because never have they challenged, ever, like, the fucking president-elect. So it's always just like, okay. Like, so it's like, why are you here except they're for to fuck everything up? Like
House Queen.
The Queen could have stopped Brexit, I learned. What the fuck, Queen? I love you, but what
do you know how that works?
I don't know the ins and outs of it, but the very loose rule is that the new Prime Minister, before they're officially Prime Minister, has to go to the Queen and ask permission to be Prime Minister, and the Queen can say no.
Yes.
But she never has. Oh.
We got excited.
How old is she?
Oh, ancient.
Yeah. She's very old.
I don't
blame
her.
She's our longest ruler now. She overtook Queen Victoria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I heard
That's
that as well.
fantastic.
Prince Charles is pissed.
Yeah, he's never gonna be.
He never will be. He's gonna be, like, outrun by a baby, and it's funny.
Is.
Wait, who's next in line after him?
I mean, technically, William.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but people are not sure if he's going to take up on that.
Oh, can he just say no?
Yeah.
He can say no.
It's happened before. That's how we ended up with King.
Oh, yes, that's the king.
So, look at us. We don't know.
No. The king before Queen Elizabeth II, our current queen, was not the first in line to be king. His older brother was, but his older brother said no.
So then it would be Harry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm cool with him. He's a cool boy.
Are you sure it wouldn't
He's
follow
alright
the
now.
firstborn's bloodline?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a royalist.
Alright. No, dude, I'm down.
It is the firstborn, I think.
Do you know anything about... Okay, so they voted Brexit yes.
Yeah.
Is it actually happening? Like, I haven't heard anything since then. It's been years.
I feel like it's chaos.
It is chaos.
It is.
Phil covered it recently.
Well, where it stood when I left England, and now I don't get Brexit news because Twitter thinks, well, Twitter is right. I am in America, so I'm getting all of your trends. So I actually don't know what's going on in England. It's great. it's a dumpster fire.
Great there.
My plane just will refuse to land and be like, oh, that's on fire.
You're just in a different dumpster fire now.
Yeah. But where I left it was Theresa May has drafted a deal to give to Europe and to be like, give us this.
Everybody's mad at her.
Everyone is mad at her.
So the people, for some reason, Theresa May is like, we're going to do the Brexit, right? And the people who wanted Brexit are like, yeah. So she goes and she drafts up this thing. Because, if you actually just do it, it'll go to shit. Everything will just... Imagine it's going to explode. So she's like, okay, let's not have everything explode. And everybody else in the UK, in, like, the Europe, is like, this is what we need to not explode. And she's like, fuck, that's not what I promised my people, but okay, I would rather not have everything explode. So everybody who wants the Brexit is like, traitor! And everybody else who doesn't want Brexit is like, why the fuck are we still doing this?
Yeah. No, but But I actually like her for doing that. That's kind of nice to find a middle ground, and everybody's mad.
But she hasn't found a middle ground.
Oh,
She's,
well then
she's
never
trying
mind.
to draft one
it.
currently.
It's like the opposite of a compromise. It's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah,
Like, so it's still happening, and it's still going to be trash, but it's also not happening all the way, so the other people, it's still going to be trash.
That sounds better to me.
It sounds better than an utter dump. It sounds better than an explosion, but it's still not
Trump
great.
would literally go further than the other people would want. Like, he would go so far right turn that everybody else would be like, oh wow, we didn't think he was gonna go that far.
And then the funny thing is, then he would fail and then blame other
horse.
people.
In the hospital.
I fired the horse catcher.
Can he do that?
Is the horse smart? Some days you don't even see the horse.
That is, those
are
are
the
the
scariest.
days. Those are the scariest days. It's true. I'm tired of hearing about the horse, but when nothing happens, I'm like, shit.
Where's that damn
Where-
horse?
Where's the horse?
Where's the
That
horse?
damn horse?
Oh god.
I'm very
Politics
tired.
are fun.
Yeah.
Very tired.
YouTube's not much better at the moment.
It's not.
Yeah.
YouTube's weirdly broken. Like, in
Yeah, we say that a
unpredictable
lot
ways.
in
But
our
now-
podcast.
But now
more
especially.
so than
broken.
ever.
Yeah.
In ways that, like, I feel like before it was, like, difficult, but you could still kind of predict things.
Yes.
YouTube has gotten so suddenly unpredictable, and
Yes.
I don't know how to...
It's like having a horse.
Hospital!
Except for the horses removing Google Plus from the code.
Yeah.
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 I mean, thank
trying to-
God.
The
but, like,
worst part is that, like, no one will confirm or deny anything.
Oh, honestly.
well, they don't know. A lot of the people we're asking are like, I
Yeah.
don't know code. Who
That's-
is that? I
the
don't know
thing
her.
Is though knowing because my husband worked in Google for a while, and he has seen how Google works, and so it's been a while, so we don't know. We can't confirm or deny facts that's happening right now, but because of how we've seen the structure of Google, people. So we just had a meeting with Echo's manager person, and
Was it in person or was it just?
It was just a Skype.
it was just a
Okay.
person.
Or, yeah, it was a Google...
I heard you guys talking about
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
And it was the same old bullshit. So after a while, they're like, do you have any questions for me? And we're like, do you have... I mean, we just want to be able to manage what we have going on with Echo. Because I help Echo sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's try to just give us information so we can actually not, drown. And they're like, oh, it could be a lot of things. And it could be... They're totally denial. Denial.
And then, like, I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories.
That's
And
such
that's
a
like,
thing.
literally... It's so...
And I was like,
Yeah, it's
I
kinda
literally
funny.
laid out to this woman what happened. Because she was like, well, we've actually been removing Google Plus for a few years. And I was like, yes, I know. And then I laid out exactly what Google's been doing. Because I know how the fuck Google works. And she was like, yeah. And that was the end of the conversation.
Yep.
So David came up to me after that conversation, my husband who worked at Google, was like, she legally can't say anything or she's going to get fired.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they do know. They just are... All of their higher-ups are telling them to gaslight everybody, basically.
Dude, I'm on the fence where they know her now because I had a partner manager as well that I would meet
Yeah,
with all
see,
the time.
that's-
She was dumb as a box of rocks.
Some of them are very dumb. I'm not gonna lie, but some of them actually... The thing is, they know the basics. They do know that it's broken. They do know that's why shit's fucking up. They can't tell you code because they're dumb. But they also do know that is in fact happening. And they just can't be like, yes, this is happening. This is how you fix it. Because they've been forced to say, no, it's not.
Because they don't know how to fix it. And so it's just one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like they think if they tell people and if they're transparent with what's going on the inside, they're just going to cause unwanted panic. Just
Okay, we have to understand,
pointless.
like, from a code... I'm a software developer by schooling.
Yes.
You have to understand, nothing on this scale has ever been done before. They're
Yeah.
trying things that have never been done before. Communication with non-code people is really, really hard.
It's
Yes.
the perpetual divide between like web designers and web developers.
Yes.
They can't communicate.
You think
And it
different
creates
ways,
problems.
which is
Yeah.
a huge issue because I can say words out of my mouth and 3 different people will think 3 different things that I said.
Yeah.
It's wild. I've seen it happen in meetings in real time, and I'm like, I mean, there's no way to solve this besides like being so explicit that it's awful. And YouTube isn't going to do that because they're trying new things all the time.
Yes.
Which is great because they should, but
Yes.
all we want is them to communicate with us when changes are coming, what those changes are, and what we can expect in effect of, like, our money.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's really important to
Yeah.
us, and they should give us a few months heads up. I don't think that's crazy to
Not
ask
only
because
that,
they're working on that code like
they need to
months
put
out.
it like they do these things where they're like, but we put it up on our blog. I didn't even see it. And it's like you need to make it more accessible. What they need, honestly, I've thought about this. What they need is a real YouTuber, a person who is actually a YouTuber, to just go around the offices and actually make real YouTube videos where it's like, okay, let's talk about this thing, and just like have a camera, not the weird videos. But the thing is, they don't have any real YouTubers.
Yeah, they
Those are
have
awful.
people from the office who
and
probably
then
worked
they
at
do these
HBO
high
at one
production
time.
value things that are very like.
They don't hire people to work at YouTube that don't have a TV experience. They don't hire actual YouTube. Did you guys know that?
Yes, I did know that.
Garbage.
Okay. Like, they never hire anybody that's not just worked in TV.
Yeah.
I don't think they've hired a single YouTuber ever.
Yes.
Which is like, that's the way that they need to communicate, is they need to hire an actual YouTuber, because a YouTuber will speak the language of YouTubers.
Yeah.
And right now they have no idea how to communicate with their audience because we don't speak the same languages.
Well, also, there's just... In their intercompany, they're also not communicating with each other, as I said before. They know something's fucked up, and they're not allowed to say what it is. But it's like, have you guys heard about Swoop, Spanky Valentine, the whole situation? Okay, so she's a makeup guru who had 600,000 subscribers, and just, I think about when they started removing Google Plus a year to 2 years ago, like she said, just suddenly 98% of her audience wasn't seeing her videos anymore. Like, it tanked hard and fast. And she was like, what? I guess everybody hated that video. And she tried to keep doing it for a year. She would call YouTube. She called her partner managers. She called her contacts. Everybody at the front end. She went to the YouTube spaces. Help me, help me, help me. Nobody's ever to help her. So after a year and a half of asking everybody she ran across who worked at YouTube, she finally found a developer. A Google developer. And they're like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. Popped open his Google laptop, because they have Google-specific laptops at Google. He said, tickety-tack, tickety-tack, tickety-tack. And then he said, oh, damn. She goes, what? He's like, so basically, in non-coder terms, you've been algorithmically struck by lightning. Your channel's dead. And she was like, what does that mean? He's like, it's dead. And she was like, do I start a new one? He's like, if that'll make you feel better.
Whoa.
And so, essentially, the only way to get helpful information from YouTube is getting a Google dev, not a YouTube dev, a Google dev, and those are hard to fucking come by.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say, from a software developer standpoint, the code that they must have to write is so complex, you can't have that not happen.
See, someone once compared YouTube to a game that has too many mods, and that's exactly... I think that's the most effective...
The scale is annoying.
Like, because you've got so many things
imagine.
plugged in, you suddenly don't know how they're interacting with each other.
That's... Okay, I've worked on school projects that happens to. Like, it is insane how much communication you have to do just to get things to... Nothing works like it's ever supposed to. Let me just say that. That's like 101 of coding, is nothing will ever work like it works in your head.
Yeah.
As soon as you type it down on a keyboard, it's never gonna happen.
Have you seen, there is this beautiful, it's like a gif of someone like pulling blinds, and then the blinds go up like this, and then like they shift around and stuff, and it's like, trying to code CSS.
Yeah.
Because it's like, every time you change one thing, it affects something else, and then it's just like, constantly going back and trying to get everything to work together.
Imagine that, but like a billion times, because CSS is
CSS is very basic.
It's
CSS
like
is just like, exactly. That was like one of the things that we had to like be very fluent in, so that we could communicate with like developers, like as graphic designers. And it's like,
that's aesthetics.
I can't even imagine the functionality aspect, like the stuff that's behind the scenes.
When you start getting into algorithms like they're trying to do AI kind of stuff where it's going to predict what you want to watch and stuff like that. It is so hard.
Yep.
It's so hard at that scale. I can't imagine. Like, I can't. As much as I blame them because they're being shitty people, that must be so difficult. But they can do a better job than they're doing.
They could.
Yeah. They can. They're just not communicating. I think that is my biggest issue. Not that it's happening, but they need to communicate. If they find a problem, they need to be honest about it and be like, your channel got picked out of our algorithm strangely. We're gonna do our best to fix it. We want all of your data so we can figure out what's going on.
Why isn't that happening?
Yeah, they need troubleshooters. They should have this.
They do. They have the technology.
Yeah,
they do.
Testing is 80% of coding. It's almost all of it, really, is you write it, and then all of the rest of it is trying to figure out why it doesn't work.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly it.
I don't know. They're doing a poor job of that part. Yeah.
It's because they're having to test it with, like, live subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're, like, just throwing stuff at us.
Yep.
Like the beta studio.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine.
That face, exactly. You can't
Not
see
a
it,
fan.
but, like...
It's I understand. They're trying to improve. It's an old UI from many years ago. Okay. Fine. But it's just the functionality that there's like, do you guys have that banner? In 2019, we're completely converting over to the new beta. Which means we can't go back anymore. And it's still missing half of its functionality.
I know.
And it's like, guys, no! Don't do it! And so, honestly, at this point, knowing what I know about the basics of how code works and how big YouTube is, I'm starting to wonder if, like, making another, like, YouTube number 2 might actually be
just
better.
starting from scratch.
Yeah, but the thing is, then everybody loses everything.
Google needs to do it, though, because they've
They
got all
need
this
to.
information. The problem is, they're not communicating enough for anybody else to ever do this.
Mm-hmm.
And not have the exact same problems that they're having.
I wonder... Maybe they're trying to do this now, but they're essentially trying to do, like, the Ship of Theseus, the Ship of Thieves. Have you ever heard of that? Thieves?
No.
I
Sea of
can't remember.
Thieves?
Sea of Thieves?
No, it's a philosophy
No, it's
thing where it's
definitely
like...
a ship.
So if there's a ship, it is a ship. So it's a philosophy thing where, like, these people board a boat, and then the boat sails off, and it's like... It has this one specific name, and then something breaks, and they find a piece of driftwood. So they take the driftwood and they put it on the thing. And this continues to happen until every piece of the boat has been replaced. When they get back to shore, are they in the same boat?
Yes.
No.
No!
This is where it comes into philosophy. So it's like, if they could kind of make a second YouTube if they could Frankenstein it out the old pieces and put in the new one, and I kind of feel like that's what they're trying to do with stuff like the YouTube beta, which just really sucks because we have to put up with it.
Or they could just
trying
Because
to-
we're the
buy...
ones plugging the holes.
I mean, they could just buy another domain and be like, here is our user information that we actually fucking want, and then just keep the videos that are on the old YouTube, and then just be like, start from scratch.
Okay, so I'm also getting my MBA. I'm gonna switch to business mode real quick.
Go.
What they're doing makes total sense because it's so much
I
cheaper.
know, but I mean, in the
And
long
like,
run,
fuck us, honestly. Like, we are nothing to them.
Unfortunately, like, from a business aspect,
But-
we mean nothing.
but really, in the long run, is it cheaper?
Yes.
I mean, right now it's cheaper, but
Not if they lose everybody, but they won't. I don't think they will.
at this point,
But
I don't
personally,
think they
I don't think this is like Reddit went through this a little bit ago, 2014. Everybody was like, "Let's leave Reddit. Reddit sucks." So they came up with like all these Reddit,
Reddit.
different Reddit
so many
versions.
People were using
A bunch of
one.
people did jump ship.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie,
What was that
Reddit
one, Goat
alternatives
something?
went up like 40% in search.
Yeah.
Like,
There was one that was really, really popular for a while to the point where it was like crashing constantly.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is you can't do this fast. It took them, what, 10 years? Over
Yeah.
10 years now. You can't just be like, oh, let's do a new YouTube. I'm gonna code it in a year and then do it.
No.
It's never gonna happen like that. If everybody switched to even like Daily Motion, if we all like trafficked
fuck
over
Daily
there,
We would break it.
it would be
Okay.
dead in like a day. They can't handle it. And it's,
No.
I don't know. As much as I'm like, God, YouTube sucks, there's nothing, it makes sense what they're doing. And
The
I don't
piecing it
know.
back together, I suppose, that does make sense. It's just like what you guys were saying, the communication of it. Like, I mean,
It's just because we're the worst
people
part
are
about
losing
it.
their jobs.
We are completely powerless, and that's the part that sucks. And YouTube has decided that, like, as we like approach our death, that rather than like tell us what we're marching into, that they're just gonna let us
It's fine.
be so
Yeah.
that we can like try and exist in peace. But we can tell something is going on, and it's like just.
That's when you have all the like the YouTube gurus being like, "This is why you should diversify. This is why you should make your own website."
Oh my god!
And the
Shut
frustrating
up.
shit about that is like, yes, listen, boo boo, I'm trying.
I would
Okay,
love to.
I'm trying. I am trying to keep up with Instagram. I'm trying to draft webcomics. I'm trying. I have to pay my fucking rent. Okay,
Yes,
I don't
and
have
this is the
time
money
to
source
have
right now.
Yes, like I don't have time to manage 7 platforms and hope one of them takes off. And also, even if I did build my own website to host my own videos, who the fuck is gonna go over there? It's hard enough to get people to ring the fucking bell button, let alone sign up for an email list on a new fucking website. Like,
I would like to offer Rooster Teeth as an example of a company that did this and did it successfully and did it well.
They are a studio, though.
Yeah.
Yes, they are production studio,
They
and that's
are
what they list
studio.
themselves up. But I'm saying is they started on YouTube. I mean, they started on DVDs, but like
they started.
they
a
really
long
got
time
their
ago.
base on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they grew from there in a brilliant way that I think everybody needs to take a really good look at
That makes
because
sense.
it's the first time anything like that's ever been done. It's incredible. Also, Rhett and Link.
Also,
Yeah,
Rhett and
they
Link.
did a good job too, I guess.
So, what you're saying is, Release Assault needs to become a studio.
Oh God!
Yeah, Lisa Salt Studios.
Yes.
If
got
it
it.
did, I would fully move to America.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Fuck yes.
Who
You'll
else
be
is
our
ready?
Gavin. Yay!
Do you not watch Rooster Teeth?
Gavin
He's the
Free,
one British
slow-mo
guy.
Oh, Gavin Free!
Slow-mo
Yeah.
guys, yeah.
I've seen gifs of his face.
Such
Yeah.
an asshole.
I know his face.
He's like the British one that was really difficult to get to.
Yeah.
come
Right.
over 'cause
He's
America
still
sucks.
difficult. They still do it because he
Yeah.
won't fucking marry Meg Turney. Marry her!
Solve all
My
the
God,
problems.
I'll marry her if you want. She's gorgeous.
True.
She's so good. All right.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Positive notes. Rooster Teeth is great.
Rooster
Yes,
Teeth is
Rooster
so
Teeth
great.
is great.
Yeah.
Friendsgiving is great.
Friendsgiving is the
Yeah.
best.
Very
2
good
stars.
times. Yeah.
2 stars.
She's-
And internet friends are great.
Yeah.
And
And
content, honestly,
thankful.
I've never been as excited to create content as I
Yes.
currently am.
Yes.
As much as it's a dumpster fire, I'm actually super fucking hyped to make content.
I'm having a lot of fun with comics right now.
Yeah.
Even though they're chugging
so
along
pumped about
kind of
that.
slowly, I'm so excited for comics.
I'm excited about your comics.
Yeah.
Like, being here with you guys has made me realize how much I want to be a part of the art community again. It's just like, I
We
want to
want
be in
you.
there.
Yay!
It's a good
Well,
time.
animations. We're working on things. We're all gonna.
Yeet.
We're all just gonna join the animation community. That's
Hell
what's gonna
yeah.
I
happen.
think so too. I want to be a part of them. God, you say the art community, like let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
We
just
need to
jump over that
fuse
and go to the
art and
animation one.
animation communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just keep them together.
Yeah, we all need the help we can get because, like,
Yeah.
Jesus, do we get shit on more than anybody else?
Oh my God! Yes.
And yet, we're coming back.
I know,
Yeah.
that's the weirdest shit. Despite all of these things, despite everybody not getting their videos shown, weirdly, animators are doing great.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a circle over on the left, and like, way over
It's-
there
wanna
is like
know what
a
it
small
is?
dot of animators who are just booming.
It's because we've banded together and
That's
formed
true.
our own system of intercommunications.
It's true.
Yeah.
So it's like it's ways to not rely on YouTube and their algorithms because we're just shouting each other out and like,
Constantly.
connecting ourselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, yep.
Oh
Yep.
my
Make
God,
friends.
Make internet friends.
Oh, but it's so hard, y'all.
It's pretty hard. It's worth it though.
It is worth it.
Like Pat.
Pat is
Pat is
great.
really
That's a
great.
great
He
internet
just
friend.
wants the mashed potato.
when you want.
You want potato?
Follow us on Twitter.
please
You'll know
follow
what
us
we
on
mean.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah. For updates, I guess you can follow us on
Release Assault.
Release Assault. We post videos or podcasts. Fucking sometimes
Yeah.
Mondays.
Occasionally.
On Mondays, maybe.
Some Mondays.
on the fucking YouTube, Google Play, iTunes. Did we ever figure out SoundCloud?
We're gonna.
We're
one
working
day.
on
will.
it. We
We'll
got
figure
the
out
we
SoundCloud.
got the Teespring money from that, so we're working
Yeah,
on
so we
SoundCloud.
can finally do that now.
Are you listening to this in 2020? Because we got SoundCloud figured out.
Yeah. Hopefully, Jesus. And our handles are
At Happy Panda Party.
At Echo is Weird.
at the Crystal Joy.
At ScarfDemon.
And remember,
Yay!
friends, the human body cannot survive without salt.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that was cute.
All right.